Hey guys, Samurai here, back again with another video. I've been gone for a while, like a long time, sorry about that, but now that I'm back, time to talk about What If Ash Caught Victini Part 3. I know a lot of you guys have been asking for this, and I can't wait to show you what Victini and Ash have in store. So, grab a drink, grab some snacks, and let's get started with What If Ash Caught Victini, Decolor Islands / Team Plasma arc. Now, from where we left off, Ash had just finished from the Unova League, placing in the top 4 because he lost in the semifinals to Virgil. Now Ash decides to head back to Professor Juniper's lab, where he tells the rest of the group that he's looking to head back to Pallet Town, along with Iris and Silent say they want to head back and explore the rest of the world too. So Professor Juniper recommends they go on a cruise, but while they go on a cruise, of course, they meet Team Plasma and N. So we can get right into that. So we're gonna cut to where Ash meets N for the first time. So when Ash meets N, Victini's typically out of its Pokeball as usual because it's a very similar shoulder mount to how Pikachu is, where it will usually spend the time chilling on Ash's shoulder, which I think makes sense. A lot of people would agree with me. I like when Ash has more than one shoulder mount too, so it works. So as Ash and Co confront N tells him that, oh, he understands Pokemon and he can speak to them fine. So he speaks to Pikachu and Victini, but one thing that turns N off is that it's Victini. And I think N is the type of character to know what Victini is, a legendary Pokemon. So he asks, oh, who does Victini belong to? Ash clearly remarks it belongs to him, because who else does it belong to? But Ash says he wants to become a Pokemon trainer, and N remarks he doesn't like Pokemon trainers the same way he did in canon. So what I see happening is that N and Ash will have a confrontation. Not a Pokemon battle per se, but instead they'll have a conversation that's very confrontational. But they'll talk about how Ash met Victini, and how Ash isn't what Pokemon trainers isn't what N thinks they are. He remarks on how he caught Victini and how they grew a bond as soon as they met back in the Victini movie. He even says that they helped with Zekrom because, you know, the Team Plasma arc focuses on Reshiram, so we gotta use the Zekrom movie. So, yeah, it's the best of both worlds. But this still doesn't persuade N to think that Pokemon trainers are good or that some Pokemon trainers aren't bad. Until Team Rocket attacks like they did in canon and Ash does what he usually does and the episode plays out the same. So now the episode continues to play out just as it did in canon, where they go and help N fight Team Plasma. Now they continue to go find Team Plasma until all the Pokemon get controlled with the Team Plasma Beam thingamabobber scheme. That thing. Yeah, that thing. Yeah, until all the Pokemon get taken over. Every Pokemon except Victini, because Victini is fighting it. Because I think due to being a legendary, Victini can fight it off better. And you might be saying, but it took over Reshiram pretty easily. Reshiram isn't Psychic type, Victini is. So I believe that Victini's Psychic type might actually put up a barrier to help him stop getting mind controlled at least. But he's fighting it, and Ash returns Victini to its Pokeball, one of the first times he's actually done that when it isn't a battle-related subject. They do foil the scheme here, but this is a growing issue of concern. So we can skip over to the climax of the Team Plasma arc, where Ash and Co get stuck in the ruins, of course. So while Iris and Silent are fighting outside, While Iris and Silent are fighting outside and Ash and N are trying to dig out, Victini also helps out, and N notices how Victini and Ash are kind of on the same wavelength and they have a really positive bond and they're not giving up. This inspires N to not give up. So when they eventually do get out, this is when of course the Team Plasma climax happens, where all the Pokemon are getting taken over and Ash returns them to their Pokeballs, except Victini. Victini is fighting it once again and is actually able to ward it off. Chorus is a bit shaken by this, wondering how and why this happened, but that doesn't deter him. But Reshiram does get taken over, Now when Reshiram's taken over, Pikachu is able to fight it too, but let's say in this continuity, Reshiram slams Pikachu against the wall and Pikachu faints. So Victini is the only one left, and Victini unlocks its legendary moves Fusion Bolt, Fusion Flare, V-Create, and still keeps, I think, with Shadow Ball? Yeah, Shadow Ball. But Victini and Reshiram are fighting, but Victini isn't putting up that good of a fight. Pikachu manages to get back up, and Victini, instead of continually fighting Reshiram, Victini helps out Pikachu use an extra powerful Thunderbolt around the same level as 10 million volts to help knock out Reshiram out of its controlled state, and then it leaves. This ends the Team Plasma arc. And everybody goes their certain ways, and Lucar arrests Team Plasma. Now we can move on to the Decolor Islands. Now the Decolor Islands, I don't see much happening, honestly, because I see like moments of where Ash is connecting with Pokemon and Victini's just there until we get to the Jirachi part. Now I believe that this episode takes a wildly different turn. Instead of Ash waking up Jirachi, I believe that Victini would actually convince Jirachi to stay a bit longer. And I believe that they would become friends again. Like, Victini would find another legendary friend. And I could see them playing together, and this would actually inspire Jirachi to come hang with Ash and company, and they would stay there for longer. And let's say in this continuity that the boat stays there for a bit longer, and they don't have to automatically leave. But they stay there for a bit longer, and like they grow a bond with Jirachi, but Jirachi does have to go back to sleep again, and Ash isn't able to catch it in this continuity. I say this continuity like I'm gonna make another what if about what if Ash caught the Victini in the Decolor Islands, Jirachi in the Decolor Islands, but I'm not. But just continue with the story. So I could see the Decolor Islands continuing the same, probably until we get to where Claire returns. Now Claire returns to find the shiny Dritigan. Now the whole team decides to help Claire out with this, along with Victini. Now when they meet the Dritigan, Claire is able to catch it with relative ease. I just wanted to talk about this moment, saying that Victini would probably help out in some way or fashion. Now we can probably move on. To the end of Best Wishes in Vermillion City. Or is it Vermillion City? I'm gonna say it's Vermillion City. In Vermillion City, where Iris and Silent decide to part ways with Ash. Now Victini is really sad by this, and it actually goes to fly away, very similar to how Piplup did in DP, except it ran away. But Victini decides to fly away. So instead, Ash by himself, without Pikachu, goes to find Victini, because Ash and Victini are really close. Victini is hiding, let's say Victini is hiding behind some building, some inconspicuous building, I don't know. And Ash uses one of the macarons that Silent prepared that Victini likes to lure it out. And it has a talk with Victini, saying that, similar to how its original talk was back in Unova, how friends come and go, and that you're going to meet a bunch of new people, except it's a much more longer speech. Ash tells Victini that they're going to travel all across the world and meet friends that they're going to have to say goodbye to, but they'll eventually see those friends again and forge new memories with new people. This sparks Victini to come back to the group, and it's almost time for them to leave. So as they're leaving, Victini gives them a big hug to each of them because he had fun times with both Iris and Silent. So I could see Victini giving them both a hug. And as Ash is telling them best wishes and good luck in your future endeavors, the train leaves and Ash heads back home. Now, as I didn't touch upon Alexa because I didn't believe there would be a meaningful interaction there, that still plays out the same. Alexa would still go back to Palatine with Ash, and Ash would reunite with his old Unova Pokemon along with Victini. Ash says that he wasn't trying his best in Unova, but he's going to try even harder in the Kalos region, which is where he's going to next. But Victini, when he hears that Ash is going to leave, he decides that he's going to make a scene and Ash decides, let me take Victini with me. So Victini is going to Kalos, everybody. Yeah. I had to actually think about whether or not I wanted to end this series here or end it with Ash releasing Victini, because that was the alternative. What I originally thought was Ash was going to release Victini at the end of this series to go travel the world by itself, but no, I decided to have Ash take it to Kalos because as Ash said in the speech, they're going to meet new friends in Kalos, and Victini wants to be there to make new friends. So that's what the story is left off on. Victini and Ash and Pikachu all head to Kalos, and next time a new beginning. So let me know what you guys thought about this what if. This what if was a lot shorter and a lot more faster and just generally a lot more faster paced. I was skipping over a lot of stuff, but that's because I'm back and I'm still trying to get into the YouTube groove, so I don't want to do a hyper long video. But let me know what you guys think. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. We're close to 1K, so hit that subscribe button. And let me know what ifs you would like to see, and let me know what Pokemon you think Ash and Victini would like to fight in Kalos. Let me know of interactions you would like to see in the Kalos parts, and hopefully I can get the next part out soon. Anyways, Samurai out.